Hi guys, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Scott Edwards. I'm a songwriter and I make all sorts of YouTube videos as well, just like this, a few vlogs, a few covers, original songs and all that sort of YouTubey stuff. So if they are the sorts of things you're interested in, click that little subscribe button down below and come and be a part of this community. Now today I'm going to do one of my Let's Have a Look videos, which is where we take a song and just have a chat about it. And we're going to have a look at Noel Gallagher's brand new track that he released today called Blue Moon Rising. So let's get into the video. Okay, so just before I get into this video, if you haven't yet heard, my brand new single, Will Catch the Sun, is out now on all streaming sites. I'll pop a link down below to it on YouTube as well, so if you fancy it, go check it out, let me know what you think. For the whole of 2020, I'm going to be releasing a new single every month. So yeah, last year I didn't release enough. This year I want to release probably a little bit too much. But yeah, that's my challenge for this year to myself, to release a new single every month. But enough for that for now. Let's have a look at Blue Moon Rising. Now obviously you don't need me to tell you that Noel and Liam Gallagher divide opinion quite a lot. Some people prefer Liam, some people prefer Noel, some like both. I'm one that likes both. Obviously there's bits that I do prefer, but I do like both. I don't think we need to be choosing sides. I think we kind of need to enjoy the fact that they're both releasing music and we get twice as much as we used to because they're both releasing great music. We're not just getting one anymore. As great as Oasis were and as big as Oasis fan I was and still am, I love the fact that we get twice as much music from them now. Me personally, I prefer Noel's stuff. Liam's stuff I do still like. It's just I love the fact that Noel has taken on a new direction with his solo stuff, and there's kind of been that natural progression all the way from his first solo album to where he is now. A lot of people don't like that, and I understand that because there is a lot of change and people sometimes don't like change. I personally am really enjoying it, and that has so far led us to today, where he has released Blue Moon Rising, which is off his next EP, his third EP of the year. Well, it's kind of the first really because it's 2020 and the other really, well anyway, third EP in a row called Blue Moon Rising, which has the songs Wandering Star, Blue Moon Rising and Come On Outside, and a couple of remixes as well. I really like this. I think this is one of my favourites that he has done on the EPs. If you kind of take the kind of disco-y, dancey, psychedelic-y vibe tracks that he's done for these EPs, so Black Star Dancing, This Is The Place and now Blue Moon Rising, I think this is my favourite out of them three. Obviously he's done Dream Is All I Need To Get By, Sail On and Wandering Star. Amazing tracks, classic Noel Gallagher for me. But these out of the kind of psychedelic-y, whatever you want to call it, Blue Moon Rising is my favourite, I think. I think it's kind of a natural progression while doing these EPs. As I said before, with this solo work, I think it's a natural progression for these EPs as well. So he's gone from Black Star Dancing, This Is The Place, and Blue Moon Rising is kind of a bit of a middle ground, I think, for them two. Black Star Dancing, very heavy bass riff. This Is The Place, kind of a bit more disco-y. And Blue Moon Rising is kind of in the middle for me. Probably a little bit more guitar in there. Not quite as bassy, but not quite as disco-y, dancey. It's yeah, kind of that middle ground. But as I said before, I love that he is trying this kind of new way of making music. So he's going into the studio to write his music. Instead of sitting on an acoustic guitar at home and writing the songs before he goes into the studio and then working on them there. He's done that for however many years in Oasis and early solo albums. And he's kind of got to that point where he wants to try something new. I know a lot of people don't like that, but he can sit on the sofa with an acoustic guitar and try and rewrite Wonderwall a million one times. He's been there and done it. So he kind of needs that new challenge. It's kind of like a footballer getting a bit bored at one club and then moving on to another club to try a new challenge. It's exactly the same, and I think all great artists do adapt over time and try new styles. It's kind of like a footballer moving clubs for a new challenge. You get bored at one thing, go try and find a new challenge. And I think that is kind of what Noel Gallagher's doing. And for me, I really like that. Anyway, Blue Moon Rising, let's have a look at the track. I'm going to play it on my laptop here, keep the volume quite low because I don't want YouTube to take the video down. In fact, just before I get into it, we'll have a look at what Noel Gallagher says about it. So I've got this quote here that came through on an email. How it manages to combine the influences of Metallica, the Jesters of Malice, Mantovani, Robinson Crusoe, as well as Bob Marley and the Wailers is literally beyond me. Oh, and it's not about City, by the way. So there have been a lot of people saying that he's just... I think there's like a Man City video or film called Blue Moon Rising. I don't know much about football really, but yeah, obviously he's a massive Man City fan. So it's not about Man City. Anyway, let's have a look at the track. So the intro kind of starts off with that little riff, like a lot of his recent stuff has. So he's got Black Star Dancing with the David Bowie riff, the boom, boom, boom. This is kind of same, but I think it might be on a guitar instead of a bass. I know he has been writing on the bass quite a bit recently, but I think this might be on a guitar, although I'm not quite sure. And then in come the synths and it kind of builds into the verse. So lyrically, I think this song is still very Noel Gallagher. Obviously, in a lot of his songs, he doesn't like to give away what the song is actually about. And there's kind of a bit of an element of mystery about a lot of his songs. And you can kind of read what you want into them and give them your own meaning, which I think is kind of a strong point of Noel Gallagher's songwriting because a lot of people can relate to them. So in the early Oasis days, people were relating to that kind of sound and where they came from. And even now in his songwriting, people can find different things that they relate to. And I really like that about his songwriting. There's that element of mystery to it. And I think that really works in this as well. So there's a storm out on the horizon and it's coming our way. I think this kind of links to the video a little bit. Obviously the video was made after the song was made, but I'll get onto the video in a little bit. But I think this is kind of about someone that might have lost their way a little bit, and obviously they've got themselves into a little bit of trouble, and there's obviously trouble coming even further down the line. Yeah, I do think that links to the video. I'll get onto that in a little bit. And then it builds after that verse, it just builds again with more synths. I know a lot of people don't like that because there are so many synths and electronic sounds in his new stuff. There's less guitars. People don't like that, I understand that, but I think I do really like the way he's gone with his music. And I think live, obviously there will be a lot more guitar in it because he has to play guitar, Gem has to play guitar. I never know whether to call him Gem or Gem. Gem. Yeah, obviously they both play guitar. So it's going to sound bigger live, and I genuinely think it will sound amazing live. I cannot wait to see it live. I'm going to see him in a few months in the middle of a forest somewhere in Sheffield. Yeah, I cannot wait. I think this will sound amazing. So it kind of flows from the intro to the verse to a little bit of an instrumental to another verse with the synths, and obviously the rest of the song is built around that guitar or bass riff, the little chugging guitar or bass riff. I still can't decide if it's a guitar or bass riff. I'm gonna go with guitar. Yeah, so it kind of, the whole song revolves around that one little riff, and the rest is built around it, which I really like. So there's a lot of rhyming in there as well. The deeper that you get, the more that you regret. I know a lot of songwriters use a lot of rhyming in their lyrics. I try to occasionally, or as much as I can, because I like the way it sounds. Obviously you don't have to rhyme at the end of every line, but it kind of works a lot, which is why a lot of songwriters do it. Noel Gallagher does it a hell of a lot. But again, there's that element of mystery in there. So the deeper you regret, the more you regret. So what are you regretting? Kind of, you can put your own meaning on that and turn it into whatever you want it to mean. But at the same time as being able to put your own spin on things and make them mean what you want, it's kind of descriptive at the same time. So it's saying by the poet and the loner along the streets that are paved with gold. So it's kind of putting you in that situation, but still being able to put your own spin on things, which I think is kind of clever. And yeah, I think Noel Gallagher, the way he does that, he kind of puts you in a situation and still lets you put your own spin on things. That is why, for me, he's a great songwriter and a great lyric writer. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his lyrics. Obviously, a lot of his songs, you can tell what they're about. If I Had a Gun, obviously, which is one of my favourite ever songs he's written, is clearly a love song about his wife, Sarah. But yeah, a lot of his songs, there is that element of mystery to them. And then going into the chorus, it's still got that main guitar riff. So the little chugging guitar riff. And the rest of the song is built around it, so it's built up with synths. And then the melody changes, so it's incredibly catchy. So it goes, you made me feel electric. I really like it, it's so catchy. I think live it would sound amazing. And then it fades out. And there's this little instrumentally bit here, which again, I find really interesting. I think this is kind of, again, the natural evolution of Noel Gallagher's solo work. So if you think back to Oasis, when he had a big instrumental gap, he'd have filled that with a guitar solo. So obviously he'd have filled that with a guitar solo. So obviously Live Forever, Don't Look Back in Anger, they've all got them amazing, famous guitar solos. But then you look back to his early solo album, I'm going to say Everybody's on the Run. I know this sounds like nothing like Everybody's on the Run, but it's got that big instrumental gap in the middle where it breaks down and then it builds back up gradually with the choir and the orchestra. This, for me, kind of reminds me of that. I don't know why, but there's this big instrumental gap that he could have quite easily filled with a guitar solo. But instead, he's kind of thought creatively about what he can do instead of a guitar solo. And obviously there's a lot of synths already there, but there's kind of this, I think it's a vocal sound. I'll play it to you. So like, oh, oh, oh. So I think it's his vocals kind of drowned in reverb to try and create this weird psychedelic-y sound. I think. I might be completely wrong. But he could have quite easily filled that with a guitar solo, but he's thought creatively about it, about what he wants to do with it and how he can try and make it sound different. I really like that. I really, really like it. And then back into another longer chorus, and at the end there's a little bit of an outro, and it repeats a bit of the first verse again at the end. And then that's the end of the song. I genuinely really like it. I know it has split opinion a hell of a lot, like a lot of his recent solo work has. And I understand that. Obviously people aren't so keen on change. People want him to stick to that kind of rock that he was known for in the early days and his early solo albums. But I really like the fact that he's gone down this new route. I keep saying that in a lot of the videos I do about him. But yeah, for me, as someone who wants to be writing songs, I kind of take a lot of inspiration from him, being able to try new things, and it gives me ideas of things I want to try. Yeah, Noel Gallagher, for me, that is why he's up there as one of the greatest songwriters and will always be one of my favourite artists. Yeah, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. If you don't like it, if you do like it, what you think of it. Obviously, I don't want to start any arguments in the comments before. I've had that on previous Liam and Noel videos, so please don't argue in the comments below. Just have a chat. It's music. It's everyone's opinion. Everyone has a different opinion. That is the great thing about music. Let's just very quickly, before I finish this video, have a look at the music video. So obviously Noel Gallagher famously doesn't like making music videos, but this one I find really fascinating. Obviously I like making videos. I like the whole cinematography, what's the word? Cinematic. I like the whole cinematic thing, and this is kind of got that whole drama cinematic stuff going on. And there's just one little bit that I want to show you. So if you haven't yet seen this video, go and check it out. It kind of gives the song a whole different meaning. So it's kind of showing a guy that's got himself into a bit of trouble, and then he's been lured back to this nightclub that Noel Gallagher, this is my opinion, this is what I think it's about. So he's been lured back to this nightclub by this girl, and Noel Gallagher owns this nightclub, and he's got himself into a little bit of trouble. He looks kind of drunk in there, and who knows what's going to happen. But anyway, that's my kind of opinion on it. I might be completely wrong again. But these little bits you see these kind of lens flares, I love that whole sort of thing. So that's very cinematic. It looks like they kind of use some anamorphic lenses, it gives you these horizontal lens flares, and it looks amazing. And they kind of, if I can play it, they kind of move around the shot like that. Yeah, I really like the music video. I never thought I'd say that about a Noel Gallagher video, because obviously he doesn't like making the videos, but I like that whole cinematic sort of stuff. Peter McKinnon, YouTuber, if you haven't seen him, go and check him out. He does a lot of stuff like that. I love it. I love the whole direction he's gone down, and I can't wait to see what Come On Outside sounds like. Obviously there's a demo of it on YouTube at the moment, so it'll be very interesting to see what that sounds like in a few weeks when it finally comes out. I think that's it for this video. If you're not yet subscribed, click that little subscribe button down below if you like what you see on this channel. Go check out my brand new single, We'll Catch the Sun. There's going to be a new one every single month for this year as well, so if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, go check it out. It'd be massively appreciated. Yeah, that's it for this video. I shall see you all very soon in the next one.